Imagine you're making more than $100,000 a year and your inbox is full with messages that someone other than you can answer. Imagine that you are making more than $100,000 a year and you're traveling, you're on vacation, and your business is still running. The three solutions that I want to give you are tips that will make impact on how you can gain time freedom, greater reach, greater impact, and feel calm while you're doing it. The first thing I want to invite you to do is to document your process. Now, what do I mean by document your process? You have to go back and look at everything that you do in order to do what you do. So, I want you to go back and remember in high school when you were learning to write different paragraphs and you had to write the descriptive paragraph of how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Like, get the bread, put peanut butter on it. Oops, you need a knife. Oops, you need to open the jar. I want you to think of every step it takes for you to do what you do. In business, this is called creating your standard operating procedures. Why do you need standard operating procedures, SOPs? So that other people can duplicate your expectations. They can duplicate your process. Standard operating procedures are your roadmap to success that you can put in someone else's hand. So it's not just making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that tastes good. It's selecting the brand of bread that you enjoy. It's getting peanut butter creamy, not chunky peanut butter. It's getting jelly, not jam. It's opening the jar and spreading it with a smooth knife, not a ridged knife that tears the bread. You have to document the processes so that you set clear expectations and give clear directions as to what the roadmap to the success, the outcome, the client experience is that you expect. There's a simple technology called Loom. And Loom allows you to create a quick video where you can demonstrate a process. So what if you have a written standard operating procedure and a quick video to go to it? You're reducing the margin of error that your team will have in executing your vision. So the first tip in creating freedom and scaling is to document your processes step by step so that it's crystal clear that you can pass it off to a staff member. And then putting it in video format so that they can easily see what it looks like. To make sure that everyone has access to this, put it in a centralized area. Maybe you have a shared Google Drive or a shared Google folder, or maybe you still use manuals, but make the knowledge base easily accessible to those you want to be responsible for the knowledge base. That's step one. Document your processes. Step two is the number one thing to do. Documenting your process is important, but you documented your processes so your team could execute. Step two is to hire the right team. Hire the right people. Now, I want to recommend that you hire people on two strands. One, on compatibility. Do they fit your organization? Do they fit you? And two, do they have a skill set? A skill set that takes something off of your plate and adds to the organization. Why these two lanes? One, because you want to work with people that you like. And two, everyone that you hire should be teachable or coachable. So if they're teachable and coachable and you enjoy working with them, you can develop them. You can develop them to work in your environment. You can develop them to have a commitment to the process and your product. So if you hire someone who maybe is lacking on one side or the other, there's going to be a greater learning curve and there's a greater responsibility on you. And the thing that you're doing is attempting to grow freedom, time freedom, and to have greater impact and reach. How do you hire the right people? One tip for hiring the right people on your team is to conduct practice interviews. Whatever it is that you are expecting them to bring to the table, have them demonstrate that in the interview. If you're hiring a public speaker, have them give a speech to a portion of your team. As you conduct working interviews, you're asking them to solve real world problems. So give them a problem that impacts your client, impacts your organization, and that you're actually solving for, and see how they handle that. Have an interview with them to talk through their process so that you can understand the logic that applied to it, because people work in different styles. So maybe what they demonstrate didn't look exactly how you would do it, but you can understand the logic when they speak to it. So it's twofold. What's the capability? Demonstrate the work, and then have an interview to talk through it to see if it's a good fit. Hiring the right people is the number one attribute of setting yourself up and setting your team up for success. For years, I had the absolute perfect executive assistant. She could complete my sentence. Sometimes I thought we were married until we weren't. But she could complete my sentence. I would give her a project and say, "This is what I need. I'd like it in blue. If you could do this task, it needs to be in chronological order. It needs to appeal to our St. Louis clients as well as our West Palm Beach clients. How do you make that fit?" And without fail, she would come back with the right product, because we had worked together long enough where she knew what I was thinking, she knew what our clients' needs were, and she could anticipate where the next step would go. So number two is hire the right people who are compatible to your organization, your work style, and they bring a skill set that can be developed. Number three is automation. Automation and workflows. Listen, technology is so robust today, you're missing out if you don't take advantage of technology. For so long, I was intimidated about QuickBooks. But once I got over that intimidation, what did it do? It allowed me to be in charge of the financial profile and the financial health of my business. At any time, I can go into my system and see what outstanding invoices I have, if I'm on course for my budget for the month, if I need to prospect new clients, if I just I have a financial story that I can follow now by using a tool that gives me the information that I need. I'm not looking for receipts in a pile. I cut it out. That's not a good use of time, and it is not moving your business forward, especially if you are attempting to scale your business, your practice. Going from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur where you may hire other people, you need to know your numbers, and technology can help you with that. You also need to know your client base and how to market. So get a good CRM where you can automate messages, you can automate follow up, so that your time is not spent doing routine tasks, right? Using a CRM or auto response feature like ManyChat allows you to stay in touch with your clients instantly. For instance, you can have a post or a message or email and you ask for a certain trigger response. It could be a simple hello. By responding hello, your client will then receive maybe access to a document that or a resource that you've developed. It may put them in a community. Try it in my IG. Jump over to my IG and just send me a message, say YouTube, and I'll send you more videos. I'll give you access to my community. But we are developing a conversation, we're developing a relationship, and I'm providing you the resource that you need. Try automation. You cannot go wrong. Workflows. Workflows are the systems that you put into your technology, similar to the standard of operating procedures that you put into your team. What happens next? Anticipation gets you there. What happens next? Those are the three tips. Create standard operating procedures so that your team can act on your behalf and on the behalf of the organization with excellence. Hire the right team so that You have people that you enjoy working with, and they bring a solution to the problem you seek to solve. And thirdly, make sure that you're leveraging the technology and the tools that allow you to create automation in your workflow so that your hands are not touching every step of the process. I want to remind you that Proverbs 16:13 says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and He will establish your ways." Listen, there's a path and a journey to success. There's a path and there's a journey to scaling. These tips and your faith will help you have a big impact on the world and the way you use your time. Thanks for joining me for this conversation. And remember, stay blessed to be a blessing.